Hi friends, hola amigos, I was just playing Jungle Speed, a great game that needs reflexes, a sharp mind and dexterity. I recommend you to play it. Lots of games have physical activity as one of their core mechanics. The video game industry has also exploited this feature. In the end of the 80s and early in the 90s, we can find video games like World-Class Track Meet. This relation between games and health has been a trend present, with peaks and valleys, throughout all video games history, and now is living a great moment with games like Dance Dance Revolution or others alike. Though video games could be a good first approach to sports or healthy activity, it is also true that it is difficult to replicate precisely the same movements that makes real physical activity healthy. Maybe the experience for the user could be the same, but bowling with Wii Sports is not the same thing as real bowling in terms of healthy behavior. In e-learning, the same question happens. Several studies show the importance of combining online training on e-health with real-life learning by doing. It is not clear if active video games, those games that enhance the use of physical activity as a core mechanic, generate the same energy spendings that real-life exercises, even if they enhance other useful skills like balance or focus. And there is always the danger that players perceive maximizing the score as the main goal, transforming the dancing or exercising from an intrinsic behavior to an extrinsic one, for example, to achieve points. It is also true that sometimes we find it difficult to increase or maintain higher levels of physical activity for long periods, especially as adults. Maybe at the moment we perceive physical activity as a duty or a mandatory core, it loses great part of its intrinsic value, thus hardening the challenge of forming good health habits. So, are we able to design gamified systems that encourage new habits of real physical activity while also addressing long-term engagement and creating a fun experience? Gamification, especially combined with smartphones or other physical devices, is a great tool to help people to engage and achieve their personal health goals. Surely, you already know some of the classic examples like Nike Plus and the Nike Fuel Band, or other less known like Fitocracy or Gym Skill. If you are going to analyze or design a gamification system of this kind, there are three key elements that appear in almost every related gamification design example. If you want to check your gamification knowledge, please stop now this video, get a pencil and a paper, and try to think what are those three key elements. You did it already? Okay. Let's compare our answers. First of all, we find workout tracking and assessment features, including mechanics like movement feedback, tutorials, or a virtual assistant. In the first stages of gameplay, designers try to maximize the probability space, the number of possible exercises, while leaving space for rapid unlocking and juicy rewards. The core mechanics are typically easy to learn but difficult to master, making learning and improvement both fun and challenging. Accuracy, which is not necessarily possible for some exercises with our given technology, is usually substituted with invented metrics. This is a very powerful feature, with examples like brain age in brain training, and allows the player to have a clear data on their progress. The second common mechanic are scorecards and achievement systems, who also can be understood as a form of feedback, of course, but in this case unrelated with the specific movements needed to improve. The second common mechanic are scorecards and achievement systems, who also can be understood as a form of feedback, but in this case unrelated with the specific movements needed to improve the way we do exercises. Examples of this feature could be visual graphs and charts, and segmented or detailed feedback, or an overall status like thumbs up or a sad face. One study made by Fitzwater in 2011 highlights how the user's perception of a series of exercises could be funnier when applying well-designed achievement systems. They said that the achievement system added value to the experience and that the achievement system was fun to use, and unlocking the achievements made the application, interesting. Achievements, progress, and scorecards can be shared, and this is the third most present mechanic in gamified e-health programs. Social sharing includes post their workout results in the social media networks, and the engagement with healthy habits come from social commitment. Living healthy habits publicly could have a negative impact on the image others could have of the users. Also, competition could serve as a motivator. Maybe a 12-week lose weight battle in your company? Accountants versus salesmen? Surprisingly, storytelling is not an important feature in this kind of gamified systems for health. You will usually find systems that are more like groups of mini-games loosely related, although there are also great examples of storytelling in gamified e-health, like Super Beta, well known, Zombies Run, or Chick-Clique, which I recommend you to analyze as an extra quest. Well, remember that convincing users to continue to use an application day in and day out is a trying task. Most players lose interest after the first 2 weeks. And there are lots of things that influence your users' behaviors. For example, if he or she has paid something for the application, the probability of going on with the program is higher, as West and his team discovered in a research in 2012. And gamification is not only useful to improve the exercise experience. It is also useful, why not, to improve other related behaviors like nutrition. Did you know that diet? Check the interesting mechanic they use to improve engagement. Is it extrinsic or intrinsic? To finish this episode, just remember that gamification is a great tool to enhance healthy personal habits. It requires lots of playtesting to tune in the levels of challenge, skills, and variety to facilitate a fun experience and the flow states. See you in the next episode.